that are present here, as well as the Honorable Secretary of Inec, National Chairman and leaders of all political parties, the Inspector General of Police, members of ISIS that are here, the National Chairman of the Party Advisory Council, distinguished representatives of the diplomatic corps, civil society organizations, traditional and religious leaders, esteemed members of the media, fellow citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is Herbert Howard who said, peace is not made at the council table or by treaty, but peace is made on the heart of men. Therefore, the essence of this very epoch-making occasion in African largest democracy that is about to unfold in the year of our Lord 2027 is the heartbeat, not just of Africa but of the world. So it's therefore my profound honor to stand before you today on behalf of the Independent National Electoral Commission. We gather here not merely as a ritual political tradition, but as a deliberate act of patriotism. I wish to start by commending the National Peace Committee. For years, you have been moral compass of our electoral system, reminding us that while we may differ in our political fashions, we are united by one map, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For over decades, since pioneering intervention in 2015, the National Peace Committee has provided an invaluable moral anchor for our republic, convening political actors to disarm hostility and commit to non-violence. Coming immediately after the successful, peaceful conclusion of the Osun State governorship election just 3 days ago, on Saturday, 15th day of August 2026, I am honored to stand before you as we transition from the obstacle successes to the grand national stage ahead of the 2027 general election. As far as we're concerned, all those obstacle elections, they were just milestones and not the destination. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 19th of August 2026, marks the statutory commencement of public campaigns and rallies for the 2027 general election, as stipulated in the Electoral Act and the revised timetable and schedule of activities released by the Commission. As we are all aware, the presidential and National Assembly elections will take place on Saturday, 16th of January 2027, while the governorship and the state houses of assembly will be held on the 6th of February 2027. That we gather on the very eve of this crucial milestone of commencement of political campaign is both deliberate and profound. Before the first campaign flag is unfurled, before the first rally is staged, and before our political rhetoric fills our public space, it is necessary that those who seek to lead this nation first gather to establish the ethical boundaries of their contest. At this stage, may I refer the political parties to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act, most especially sections 96 to 102 of the Electoral Act, as well as paragraphs 29 to 36 of the Political Parties Regulation enacted by Inec, which contains guidelines, rules, and regulations for the conduct of campaigns. Today, signing of the first National Peace Accord therefore marks a critical milestone. We are exactly 5 months away from the 2027 general election. The world is watching, but more importantly, the Nigerian people, the youths, the farmers, the entrepreneurs, and the elderly, they are watching all of us. They are not just asking for much, We are simply asking for a process that is credible and a campaign that respects their intelligence. We must be candid about the realities confronting our democratic space. Recent data from the NPC Election Committee Information Hub indicates an alarming resurgence of hate speech, toxic polarization, coordinated misinformation, and personally driven political discourse. As preparations for the 2027 general election intensify, we are witnessing a disturbing shift from policy-driven engagement towards character assassination, identity-based provocation, and inflammatory rhetorics. If left unchecked, this trend threatens to poison the public square, erode civil trust, ignite avoidable conflict across our societies. When we talk of issue-based campaign, we're talking of campaign in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, the Constitution of the political parties, as well as the manifestos contained therein. Electoral contest is a constitutional democracy and not just total wars. They are competitive job interviews before the electorate. It's just like seeking a job. And therefore, you must succumb to the rules as if it's a competitive job interview. The 2027 general election presents complex socio-economic, security, and developmental questions and demand rigorous, intellectual, and policy-focused debates. Nigerians do not want insults. They want solutions. They deserve to hear clear, concrete, and measurable manifestos detailing how political parties intend to drive economic growth, bolster national security, expand infrastructure, improve healthcare, modernize education, and foster social inclusion. Today, this accord is a solemn pledge to elevate public discourse to these substantive issues. By signing this accord, you are committed to an issue-based campaign. This is a significant departure from the politics of character assassination, identity manipulation, and inflammatory rhetorics. Nigeria's challenges and indeed our opportunities are too great for us to spend this election cycle in trenches of bitterness. For the Commission, that is Inec, our moral authority to demand decorum from political actors rests squarely on our own administrative and technological preparedness. I am pleased to report that our preparation for the 2027 general elections are progressing with absolute precision. We are scaling our operational logistics to manage a massive nationwide ad hoc workforce of 1.4 million personnel across over 176,000 polling units. As the electoral umpire, Inec commitments to you and the people of Nigeria is unwavering. Our responsibility is to ensure that the ballot is protected and the will of the voters is reflected in the final results. We have spent the last 8 months refining our technologies, enhancing our logistics, and training our personnel. The outcome is reflected in the governorship elections we conducted in Anambra State in November 2025, the FCT Area Council election in February 2026, the Ekiti State Governorship election in June 2026, and the recently concluded Osun State Governorship election, apart from 13 off-cycle by-elections that were also conducted within the time I took over. As I've often said, INEC cannot deliver a perfect election alone. An election is a multi-stakeholder venture. We provide the pitch and the referee, but the quality of the game depends on the players. When candidates and parties prioritize peace, our job becomes exponentially more effective. When we noticed the situation in Osun State, after the peace accord that was signed, we came back and went to the drawing table, and we had to retreat to all the security agencies under ISIS, so that you cannot have a successful election if there's no peace. And we needed peace in Osun State. So I want to thank the security agencies for responding to that and for ensuring that the election was basically peaceful. Now, a call to the candidates and party leaders, to the presidential candidates and party chairmen gathered here. The document you are about to sign is not a mere piece of paper. It is a covenant and a social contract with the Nigerian people. And it is a contract with statutory and constitutional flavor, of which, as we heard from Barrister Sabe, I have the mandate of the law to enforce in line with in the company of the law enforcement agents. It is a covenant and a social contract with the Nigerian people. So lead by example. That is number one. As you sign this, lead by example. Your supporter looks to you for cues. Now addressing the presidential candidates. Your supporters look to you for cues. If you speak the language of peace, they will act with peace. If you incite them, they will ignite. 2, focus on what and how. Tell the voters what you will do for the economy, security, and education, and how you intend to achieve it. Let the 2027 campaign be a marketplace of ideas, not a theater of war. 3, respect the umpire and the law. We welcome constructive criticism. It makes us better. But we urge you to refrain from preemptive declarations of victory or spread of information that undermines public confidence in our democratic institution. In an era dominated by rapid digital communication, we must also confront the menace of misinformation, disinformation, and foreign information manipulation and interference. Fake news and unverified premature declaration of results are designed to trigger panic and subvert public order. I call on all political parties to restrain their digital media teams, official spokesmen, and online youth wing from weaponizing falsehood to gain temporary political advantage. Addressing the incumbent, Your Excellency, Mr. President, your presence here through your secretary to the federal government today as both the president and a candidate signals a commitment to the stability of our country. The neutrality of state apparatus is the bedrock of any credible election, and we look forward to the process where the incumbency remains a platform for service to Nigerian people. The 2027 general election must be improvement on all our previous efforts. We're introducing further transparency measures in the result management process to ensure that the people's choice is not just a slogan, but a reality. Peace is not the absence of competition, it is the presence of rules and willingness to abide by them. Let us compete vigorously, but let us compete decently. Let us remember that at the end of this exercise, there will be no winners if Nigeria is the loser. Let me state unequivocally that Inec has no interest in who wins or loses any election. The Commission does not have a candidate, nor does it favor any political platform. Our only interest is a lawful, transparent, credible, and inclusive process. We will act as an uncompromising, impartial umpire, ensuring a level playing field for all contestants. As I sign this first national accord today as a witness, the Chief Electoral Officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I call on all registered political parties and presidential candidates and other candidates to internalize every lines of this agreement. Let us show our citizens and international community the Nigerian democracy, being the largest in Africa, has matured beyond destructive conflict into a refined policy-driven contest of ideas. Let us work together to ensure that the journey to 2027 is remembered, not by the division, discord, or inflammatory rhetorics but as a triumph of Nigerian democratic spirit. Inec is ready, Nigeria is expectant. Let us make the 2027 general election a shining example of African democracy, Nigeria being the largest democracy in Africa. In closing, I want to thank the National Peace Committee once again for this initiative. To the candidates, as we pick up the pen today, Remember that the ink represents the hopes of over 200 million Nigerians. Write a history of peace. Write a story of progress. May God bless the National Peace Committee. May God bless the Independent National Electoral Commission and continue to guide the Federal Republic of Nigeria towards enduring peace, unity, and progress. Thank you all.